All right, so for today's class, I'm going to be showing you some templates that you have access to in Command and also on our website, scottleroymarketing.com. So to get started, I am at agent.kw.com and I'm going to get signed in. And I will give you a moment to do the same. Yeah, for anybody who couldn't hear us at the beginning, we do get started about 5 minutes after the hour, just for anyone who may be coming in late. So there was no sound at the beginning of class, but we're getting going now. So I just signed into the homepage of Command. This brings us to our Command dashboard. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this red KW up at the top left. This is going to expand our menu where you can see all of the different widgets that you have access to within Command. And for today's class, we are going to be working in designs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on designs. This brings us over into My Design Templates. This is basically a library of any pieces that you have created previously. You can sort these by email, landing pages, social, so any Facebook pieces you created, Twitter, email signatures actually appear in here as well. Print, these would be flyers or listing presentations we've created in the past. Your agent site pages are actually found here in designs as well. And then any videos. So this is our design library, but we want to create some new pieces today. So I'm going to go down to the bottom right, and anytime you'd like to create a new piece, you'll click on this plus sign here. All right, so we have the option for email, social, print, video, and there's also a feature in designs where you can import a PDF and make changes to it. This is pretty cool. It's kind of like Adobe Acrobat Pro or Adobe Pro if you've ever used that. It'll allow you to import a PDF and then actually change out the elements on the PDF. So change the fonts, change the text, move things around, things like that. So that's a really cool tool as well. We're going to start today by creating a social piece. So I'm going to click social. And then you'll see down at the bottom, there's an option to import photos and text from a listing. So this is really cool. This is a great way to save time. If you are creating a piece about a listing, you can actually check this box here and we can select our listing and it'll bring over the photos and the property information for us so we don't have to manually add those in, which is awesome. So I've selected social. I've checked this box here and we are going to click next. This brings up our KWLS search page. This is where we can search for that listing we're creating the piece about. So you can search up here at the top either by property address or MLS number. Right now it'll show all listings, but if you wanted to only display your listings, you could change this menu option here. And if you had listings, they would be displayed here and you'd be able to easily select your listing. I'm in Scott's account and he's not an agent, so I'll change this back to all. And I'll go ahead and search for my listing. All right, I typed in the address and I found my listing here at the top, so I'm going to click select. And this brings us into our templates. So these are all of the templates that we have access to. And I'm just going to browse through these real quick so you guys can see what all is available to you. So it first brings you into app pieces, and these are Instagram pieces. We go into listings, we can see these different categories here. So for example, if I were to click on for sale, you can see we have pieces for Facebook, Instagram, Instagram stories, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So you'll notice that these are all different sizes. They are basically interchangeable. You could create an Instagram piece and use it on Facebook. We are just going to be saving this as a JPEG, but these are formatted to fit the best for each category. So for sale, just listed, different price update pieces. We also have neighborhood snaps. If you are farming or working in a specific neighborhood, these are really cool. They actually can bring in different stats about that neighborhood and that area onto the piece for you. We actually have a shorter video on that on our YouTube page if you're interested in these neighborhood snaps. So different listing pieces, same for buyer, Keller Mortgage, social posts, lead gen. This is where you can find the holiday greetings. So if you're looking for holiday pieces to post on social media, they have them for Facebook, Instagram, and your Instagram stories. Business basics. This is where you can find a couple email signatures. And then actually later on in our class, we have a bunch of email signatures on our website as well on scottleroymarketing.com. So I'll go ahead and show you those, but these are a couple templates you have available to you as well. Under social branding, if you're looking for covers for the top of your Facebook page, your LinkedIn or Twitter, these are different social media covers that you can use. So you guys can browse through these and see the different templates that are available. We're going to start today by making a listing piece. So I'm going to go under listings and click for sale. Yes, so let me go ahead and find that. Whoop. So a great resource for you guys is our our YouTube page, youtube.com/ScottLeroyMarketing. And I'm not going to be able to go over the neighborhood snaps today, but if you go to our YouTube page and search for basically anything that you're working on, we have these awesome videos. So most likely, if you have a question about it and it's KW related, we probably have a video. So I went to our YouTube page and searched neighborhood snap, and this is a shorter video just on the neighborhood snaps. So I'll go ahead, oh, there it is. I'll change this to everyone. And there's the video for that. And they're really cool, so I definitely recommend checking those out. But we're going to start today by making a for sale piece for Facebook. So I'm just going to click this third one here. I will find the piece that I'd like to use, and then I will click this use button. And this brings us into the piece. So before we go in and edit this piece, I'm just going to point out a couple things over on the left. Right now we are in our images. If you needed to import an image from your computer, like say you had some of the home images here, or on your computer that you wanted to import onto the piece, you could go to images and then add, and import a piece directly from, or I'm sorry, an image directly from your computer. We also have text, where you can add in additional text boxes if you'd like. Icons, these are really cool. These are kind of like clip art that you can add in. You can scroll through these. Logos as well. You can see there are different company logos in here, so if you need some generic KWs, you can find those in this logo section. And then most importantly, I wanted to point out this KWLS section. So at the beginning of class, and before we actually came into the templates, we chose and we looked up our listing and selected it for these pieces that we're going to create. So when I click on this KWLS option here, You can see all of my photos from KWLS have been imported, as well as the listing details. So that's going to make it really, really easy to customize these pieces in Command. So I'm going to go through and just start editing this piece. So let's say, for example, of course, I want to change out this photo here. To do that, all I would need to do is click on the photo I'd like to change. And since I have my options here in KWLS, I found the front shot of the home, and I'm going to go over here to the photos, and you'll see these 3 buttons pop up. This first one is for add image, and when I click this, it's just going to plop this photo on top of everything. There's an easier way to do this. This would be a little bit harder. I'd have to crop this, move it around, what have you. So I'm just going to delete this. And I will have to delete twice because you'll see you can either hit delete on your keyboard or click on the little trash can at the top. But when I do that, it also has this placeholder image. So I'll just go ahead and delete that as well. Oh. All right, so we still want to work on this photo here. So I have that selected. So that was the add image button, but you'll see this one to the right, or right in the middle, says replace image. So this is going to be the easiest way to swap out any images on your pieces. When I do that, you can see it automatically plugs that in. So some of your photos may not fit perfectly, so you will have to kind of mess around with this. You do have the option to reposition these. So let's say I don't like how this fits in here. It is kind of a tight crop, so I won't really be able to zoom out to make this fit perfectly. But if I click on the photo and then click reposition up above, you can see this is the area that it's going to crop, and I can drag this around to make it fit better. But I actually think that this photo, just from the way that the photo was taken and the size of this template, I don't think this works the best. So I'm going to choose a different image. So I'll maybe do this living room shot. And that did something funky. It looks like it actually placed this in the background. So I'm going to hit this back button and see if we can fix that up again. So I'm clicking on the photo, clicking replace image, and there we go. Same steps I did as before. I'm going to click reposition. And move this around. It looks like this is being a little finicky today, so bear with me. Okay, that's good enough for me. All right, so let's say that looks perfect. We can go ahead and go with that image here. And now we want to change out the listings or the listing details on this piece. So it's really easy to swap that out. Now we need to change out the items like the address, the beds and baths, things like that. So this is, again, really easy because we selected our listing in KWLS. I'm going to select the address here that I want to change. And of course, I can just double click in here and start typing. But if I wanted to save myself some time, I can go over into listing details under KWLS and basically go through that same process. I can hit that replace button again for many different elements for the listing details. So let's say I want to swap out this listing address. I can find the address over here under listing details. You can see it's under property address. Hit the replace button, and that will very easily swap this out. It doesn't add in the state, so you may want to add that in manually. So I just double clicked in that box and I'm editing the text, take out this period as well. And that looks good to go. And of course you can make further changes. So if you wanted to change the font, you can see when I click on this box here, I have different font options. You can actually import your own fonts. If you have specific fonts you're using for your branding, you can actually add those in, which is really cool. So I can change the font, I can change the size, the colors, of course, make it bold, italicize, so very customizable. Now down below you can see the property details. This doesn't always work perfectly, so you can see all of these property details are in one box. So if I were to find, let's say it starts with 3 bed, if I were to find the bedrooms over here and hit replace, it's going to replace everything in that box with just a number 3. So for these, you'll want to just manually change this out. So 3 bed, 3 bath, changing the square footage as well, the price. And then this was built in 2019. So that looks good to go. We've easily changed out our text. The last thing we want to switch on here is our logo. So if we needed to, we can import a logo from our computer. I'm just going to use a logo that is already here from Keller Williams. If you need help finding your specific office logos, those are found in kwconnect.com. If you don't know how to find those or you're having trouble downloading your office logos, let us know. We can assist with that. But I'm just going to use this generic KW here. And it doesn't allow me to replace for some reason. So I'm just going to delete this logo here. You can see the replace button was not there as an option. So I'll just manually delete that and put in, oh goodness, this is being funky today. I'm just trying to move this logo. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna put this logo up here. So another thing I wanna point out, when you are moving things around, you can see these grid lines are popping up and the logo is kind of popping into place. This is another really cool feature. It's basically just helping you make sure that things are aligned and centered, and it makes it really easy to make sure your piece turns out well. I actually want to make this a little bit smaller, and I'll put that there, and that looks good to go. So my piece is now complete. We want to save this. So up here at the top, I would just make sure that this is set to auto save. It should be automatically, so that's great, which means it's saving as we're working, so we don't lose anything. But let's go ahead and save this, just take one more step. So right here you can see it says 05FSFB. We can actually change the title of this piece. So I'm going to do Cortona for sale, and then FB for Facebook. Then I'll just go ahead and hit enter on my computer. And you can always change the file name here. You can see once I put my mouse on top of it, I'm able to type in this box. So now we have a couple different options. We definitely want to save this. We can save this as a JPEG file on our computer, or Command actually has the option to post directly from Command. So you can actually go into your campaign section and choose this design from the designs and post it directly to your social media from there. I'm just going to save this for now. So to save this or download, I'm going to go to this little down arrow button, and when I highlight this, it becomes the download button. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And you can see we have a few different options here as well. So we can save this as a JPEG, a PNG file. This is great for files that have a transparent background, or a PDF. So since this is just a social media piece, we can just save this as a JPEG. If we were creating a print piece, we would want to change that to PDF, but JPEG is just fine for this. So I'm going to choose JPEG. You can change the quality if you'd like, and I'm just going to click Start Download. And we'll give that one moment as this saves to my computer. I'll go ahead and pop this open, and you guys can check that out. There we go. This is our social media piece. We can now take this and post it directly onto our Facebook page. The cool thing is also with these, this is just a JPEG file. So you can basically do whatever you'd like with this. You can put this in the body of an email. You can attach it to an email. You could post this on Instagram or your LinkedIn page as well. Pretty versatile. So you can take this JPEG file, do whatever you want with it. And I do see we have a lot of questions. I'm not going to be able to answer everyone's questions today, but I'm going to do my best. All right, so a great question. How do you save, you guys kind of asked the same question. How do you import, why don't images stay in my library, and how do you import different images or taglines or pictures that you're going to be using frequently? All right, so you will see, when I'm working over here on the left, for a lot of these, there's this option called My Library. So it looks like we have nothing saved in icons. Under My Library, there are some text options here as well. And then to make my images, sometimes you'll see the images box goes away. If you just click around on your file on images, you can make images pop up as well. So great question. Somebody asked, why don't images that I upload stay saved in here? Or why aren't they, when I upload them, why aren't they saved to my library? So in my library, you can see I do have some pieces saved here as well. These are images I uploaded previously, and I'm going to show you where you can upload those so that it's very easy to go into your library and add them into your piece. So we just finished this piece. It's all saved and good to go. I'm going to click, let's click this KW up at the top left. If you click done over at the top right, it takes us back too far. So I wanted to make sure we were clicking at the right place. All right, so that was just, well, I wanted to get into creating a piece right away, but somebody asked about the library. So you can see when you come into the templates, whether you go into print or your social pieces, you'll see this option here for library. So I'm going to click on library. And this is really awesome. So if you have information, text, like phrases, images, your own logo, things that you're going to be using frequently on these social media pieces, you will want to upload or update your library just to save yourself some time so you're not having to upload those images or text, what have you, every single time. So you can see there's a section for details. This is basically your contact info. Text, somebody asked about like a phrase, so you can see this one is your tagline. So if you have a tagline that you're going to be putting on pieces frequently, you can put that in here. Vision or bio, same thing. Images, so this is my image library. I have my headshot in here. I actually have a logo in here as well, but actually there is a designated spot for logos, so I'm just going to delete this. You can only have 4 images in your library at a time. So keep that in mind as well. You might, these are really just for like your essentials, like things you're going to be using frequently. So you would want your headshot in here. There's a logo section, so you can upload any logos that you're going to be using. And then this brand kit section. So if you have specific fonts or colors that you are using for your branding, you'll want to add those in here as well. So when we're going to go in and create a print piece, so I'll show you how we can utilize these things in our library, and it'll make a lot more sense. So anytime you come into your templates, check out that library and just make sure that you have everything you need here. And that's definitely going to save you some time. Before we jump over and create a print piece, I do want to show you my designs from this section as well. You can access all of your designs here. But one important thing, if you want just a blank template, this is where you would go to create that. So we are in My Designs. We were first in that templates page as if we were creating a new piece. But if you click on this option here for My Designs, you can see toward the top it says Start from Blank. And you can choose if you want like a blank Facebook piece, Instagram, a blank door hanger or bifold, or you can do a custom size. But if you are wanting just a blank slate, a completely clear template, this is where you would go to start creating that. All right, so we're actually going to go back a little bit. We're going to click this X at the top right. And we are back in our design template. So now we're back in command. We're just in command in this design section. And now I want to switch gears and show you guys the print pieces. So I'm going to click on the plus sign down at the bottom right again. This time we'll click print, and I'm just going to go through those same steps. I'm going to select print, and I'm going to import photos and text from a listing, and we'll put together a flyer. Go ahead and click next. I'm going to search for my listing one more time. Select my listing, and then this will bring me over into the print pieces. Great question about all social media. If you wanted to post on all social media, I would probably do, I don't know the exact size of like the Instagram rectangle, but I would probably do a square. And you'd be able to post that basically anywhere, and it would fit without being cropped or manipulated in any way. So you could, the cool thing about these templates is they're pretty interchangeable. So we're going to create a print piece, but you can actually use that print piece for social media as well, because we have the option to download it as a JPEG. So I'm going to go through and show you guys these templates. And again, if you wanted to update your library, you do have the option over here at the right again. You can see we have different app pieces. So now we're in print. We have different postcards, flyers, and then a couple other postcard sizes. If we go under listings, quite a few options here as well. This is where you can find the listing presentations. There are both listing and buyer presentations in Command, and I love these. These are really great. They're easy to use. I love that they are completely customizable, so you can actually remove pages, you can add in blank pages, you can take off information, add information. These are really great. We're not going to be able to go over these today, but again, on our YouTube page, you can search for listing presentation or buyer presentation, and we do have shorter videos on those, but these are really, really nice and easy to use. If I click on for sale, you can see we have different door hangers, flyers. We're going to create a flyer today, postcards, and then some different brochures. So there are bifolds, vertical, trifolds, so like a pamphlet, and then horizontal bifolds. Here are those neighborhood snaps. You can see there's also a flyer version, door hangers, and standard postcards. Great for door knocking and farming. Ooh, got an error message. Under buyer, we can see some neighborhood snap items here as well. Some flyers on Keller Mortgage, and here's that buyer presentation that I mentioned. Under lead generation, some home value pieces. There are actually some event invitations here as well. Under business basics, we have some business card templates and some letterhead. If you're looking for a letterhead, here's a nice one that you can use. And you guys can go through and check out the rest of those templates. So for today, I just want to put together a listing flyer real quick with you. So I'm going to click on listings, for sale, flyers, and I'm going to just choose this first one here. So I'm going to click use on this first for sale flyer. Oh, awesome, found your listing. All right, so this is going, for any of these templates, it's basically the same process that I showed you when we were creating the social media piece. So I'm going to go through and this time I'll show you how we can utilize the library. So we were in our library. Let's say we uploaded any photos, text, anything that we needed. It's going to be really easy to plug those items into our flyer. So I can't see this very well. I'm going to zoom in down here at the bottom. You can see there's a little magnifying glass button. You can zoom this in as much as you like, just so you can make sure that you can see this properly and get it designed in the best way. So let's start with this information down here, because I do want to show you how we can use the library. So we're going to change out this photo. As you know, we have Scott's headshot imported into our library. So I can click on My Library here, go to Scott's headshot and click Replace Image. And there you go. Scott is easily put on this flyer. Same thing for the logo. So I do want to point out, this is interesting. For the logos, if you're in your library, this is the only place that you'll have the Replace Image button for the logos, is in the Logos Library section. If I were to go into Company and then choose one of these, oh, actually, that is so interesting. It didn't give me that Replace option before. So you have to only be in the Logos section to use the Replace button. If you were just in Images, for example, oop, there we go. So if I wanted to, oh, actually it's not even letting me do that. So if you wanted to add in something from your image library, if you had the logo there, you wouldn't be able to use the Replace feature. So if you want to use that Replace button and just make it really easy, it has to be either from this logo section in Company or Library. So I had a logo in my library. I'll go ahead and hit Replace. Oh, there it is. It wasn't perfectly formatted, so it looked like it was hidden. This one actually doesn't work very well because it has red text. I don't have another item or logo in my library, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose one from here for now, just to make it easy. If I wanted to, though, I could go back to my library and import the logo I needed, or I could go over here into Images and upload a logo from my computer. So just a couple different ways that you can get the items that you need. All right, so you can see there's really easy to import from our library. We can do the same thing for text. So this has this little phrase, contact me for details or to schedule a tour. So I'm going to go into text, and if I go into my library, we had our slogo, or slogo, I combined logo and slogan. Slogan added in. So it looks like this was our slogan here. Choose SLM for all your real estate needs. So I want to use this in this place here. I can actually hit Replace Text. And there we go. I'm going to center this. Let's see, I can use this Align button to make sure it's centered. And there we go. It was really easy to put in our catchphrase. All right, so I'm going to go through and just start to update the property information as well. Again, this is going to be the same process as before when we were creating that social media piece. So I'm just going to go through this really quickly. I'm going to click on the photo here and then go to KWLS. We chose our listing at the beginning, so I can go into my KWLS photos and very easily click that Replace button. This, I don't remember this having rain or snow in it before. I guess I didn't catch that detail. That's so interesting. All right, so I'm going to click some more photos here. I think these are actually, I may have clicked the wrong one last time. Because it's the same listing, but different photos. So this might be from a different agent, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just select my photos here that I'd like to use. Maybe it is the same. I just didn't catch that it was raining before. All right, so I very easily swapped out those photos, and I'm going to do the same sort of thing for the property details. So you can see this is our property description here. KW has it set up as bullet points, so you may have to tweak this. If you want to keep bullet points, you would have to manually add that in, depending on how you have your property description in KWLS. So I have the property description selected here. I just clicked on it, and I'm going to find the property description over here in my listing details. The property description is always at the bottom. It's actually behind this little support button. You can see it says property description. So I'm going to click replace. And you can see it plugged in my little paragraph about the property. And I can just go ahead and move this around a little bit. I'm actually going to make this text bigger, so I have some space. There we go. And you can format this however you'd like. This is built in 2015, so the replace button isn't going to work here because if I click replace, it's just going to put 2019 in this box and take out built in. So I will just double click in here and change out the text. Same thing with this information. I'll just have to manually add that in. 3 bed, 3 bath. And then change out the price. So this looks good. One last thing, I will do the address up here. My property address is over here on the left in the listing details, so I will click that replace button. Again, it doesn't add in the state, so I like to add that in. I'll make this a little bigger. And you can see when I made that bigger, it knocked the zip down to the second line. So all I need to do is just adjust the box, and it'll fit perfectly. And I'll move this and just make sure it's centered with this line. And that looks good to go. And let's just say I swapped out that information. So we have updated this flyer. This looks good to me. And same sort of thing, we want to save this. So I'm going to go up to the top and I will go ahead and change the title of this. So I'll do Cortona for sale flyer. You can put in the date as well if that helps you keep track of things. So this is now saved and I can download it. So I'm going to click the download button here. And again, we do have those same options. So the cool thing about the flyers is they are extra interchangeable, I would say. So you can download the JPEG and you could post this on Facebook. You could post this on Instagram. You could put this in the body of an email and send it out to your database. If you were to download a PDF, you wouldn't be able to upload the PDF to Facebook. You would be able to attach it to an email, but you couldn't put it in the body of an email. But if you wanted to print this flyer, PDF is going to be your best option. So like I said, these are really interchangeable, which is really cool. You have the option to download as a JPEG or a picture file for posting or emailing. But if you want to print this, you definitely want to save it as a PDF. Under PDF, we do have some additional options. So for example, if this was a multi-page document, like a listing presentation, you do have the option to select which pages you would like to download. I'll just go ahead and leave this on all designs because I want all the pages, which is actually just one page here. And then under change quality, I'm going to change this to high resolution print, just to make sure it is the best quality for printing. So I'm going to click Start Download, and this will save to my computer. Oh, and I will allow this. Save it to my computer, and I'll go ahead and open that so you can see what it looks like. All right, so here is our print flyer, and you can see this looks beautiful. And now we can take this and print it and start handing these out. And I know we have some more questions. So it should allow, oh, so what is Cortana? That's just the address. I named this piece the property address. And then, so I have noticed that as well, sometimes clicking around in the text can be a little tricky. I don't have a great tip for that, except you just kind of have to keep trying. I know like sometimes you'll click around in here and you have trouble highlighting. So if you want to highlight all the text, you can just make sure you get your cursor in this box. And if you hit Control All on your keyboard, that'll highlight everything. And that'll make it easier to change the font, the size, what have you, instead of like dragging and dropping. If you're on a Mac, it's Command All. So Command All or Control All, and that'll allow you to select all the text. All right, so we're done with this piece. I'm gonna go ahead and click Done. I don't need to save, this already saved. I think it was just asking that because I was messing with that text. But you can see now we're back in our design library and we can see our pieces here. So for this social media piece, since we have this saved to our computer, what I could do is I could open up a new tab, go to facebook.com and post that directly. Also in Command, I won't have time to touch on this today, but we do go over this in our marketing class, Marketing with Command. Those are taught on Thursdays. You do have the option in this campaign section in Command. Under social posts, it'll allow you to create a new social post and actually pull in those design pieces from our library. So this is a feature similar to Hootsuite where you can schedule your social media posts ahead of time. And it's just another easy way to post your pieces directly from Command. So if you are interested in that, check out our Marketing with Command class, and we do go over that in that class. But you can also just go directly to facebook.com and upload that piece you just created. So we are going to switch gears. That's all we're going to go over in Command today. I do also want to show you the templates on our website. So this is our site, scottleroymarketing.com. And we are going to go into KW Resources. So I'm going to highlight KW Resources. Again, we're at scottleroymarketing.com. And I'm going to click on Templates. I'm going to put in the URL, scottleroymarketing.com/templates will bring you here as well. And then for our training class on Thursday, so let me just double check the URL. I do want to give you guys our training calendar. I think this will bring you to the training calendar. Nope. And for anything on our site, you do have to log in. I'll point that out as well. You do have to sign into our website to access all of the different resources. And it says enter your Market Center number or password. And most of the time, this is just your Market Center number. So at the top of your MyKW screen, up at the top right, you can see your Market Center number. But if you have trouble figuring out, if you don't know what your Market Center number is, shoot us an email or reach out to your office. We can definitely figure that out for you. But let me just make sure. Okay, I'm going to put in the link to our training calendar. Ooh. Now I'm having trouble copying and pasting. Oh my goodness, what is going on? It's not letting me. Well, I'm trying to send this to you guys, but Zoom is not letting me. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's our training calendar. I'll go ahead and show you when our marketing class is this month. I don't know. I think it might be next week. Oh, no, Marketing with KW. I teach that class is at the end of the month. So it's the last Thursday of the month. So you can find all of our training classes on scottleroymarketing.com. You go to KW Resources and then Training, it's under Training Calendar or under that link I just sent you. And then somebody had the question, a great question. If you go to Facebook, just to pay Facebook, how do you use the CRM in Command? So that's a little different. This is just a social media post. So this is, the feature I'm talking about is just like posting on your wall for your business page. So it's not targeted to your CRM, it's targeted to anybody who has liked your page. So anybody who has liked your page would see that post. So it is not related to your CRM, like an email through Command would be, or like a targeted ad. This is just a straight social media post. All right, so I want to go to scottleroymarketing.com/templates. Oh, I have .com. scottleroymarketing.com/templates. I will put this in the chat just so you guys have that as well. I don't think I've put that one in there yet. And this is where you can find the templates on our website. Again, KW Resources at the top, and then templates. If you just click on templates directly, that will bring you here. So if we scroll down, you can see we have a whole list of different templates that we have available to you from our website. So different flyers, calendars, we have some letterhead in here as well, Facebook cover photos, but the main thing that people use are our email signatures. Before we look at the email signatures, I do want to point out this video at the top. I'm going to do a very quick run through of an email signature today, but I highly recommend before you use any of our templates, check out this video here because it is a little bit of a different process. And this video will walk you through creating the email signature and then actually attaching it to a Gmail. And please note, you do have to be signed into a Gmail account to utilize our templates. Our templates are through Google Drive. If you don't have a Gmail that you're using, your kw.com email is actually a Gmail, so you can use that and it will give you access. So I'm going to scroll down to this template list and click on email signatures. This brings us into Google Drive. This is why you have to be signed into a Gmail account. And you can see we have 4 different folders. We have modern, normal, vertical, and widescreen. So you can check out these different folders and see the different templates that we have available. I'll just click on this first one for modern. And that brings me into the folder and I can see all of these different templates. I'm going to click on this one down here at the bottom. And I'll double click and this will open up a new tab. Over here on the left, you can see there are 3 different slides. So we're in Google Slides. It's kind of similar to editing in PowerPoint. But the only one we need is this first slide. So the second one, this message here is telling you that this is going to be a flat image signature. So if you were to put on any social media icons on here, for example, a Facebook button, a Twitter button, things like that, your people who look at this will not actually be able to click on it. It's just going to be one flat image. So keep that in mind. And then slide 3 is just telling you to watch the video for the steps. So we're working on this first slide here, but you can see I'm clicking around on here and I can't actually make any changes. This is because this is our master file. And what you don't want to do is click on this view only button here. You can see it says view only, request edit access. Unfortunately, if you click this, we're just going to have to delete that email because we can't give you access to our master files. So what you'll do instead is you'll click File at the top. and then make a copy. It is asking if we want the entire presentation or just the selected slides. Those are those 3 slides I was talking about right here. We just need the first one. So we'll do File, make a copy, and then selected slides. And this is going to move over this first slide into our Google Drive, and we can actually make changes to it. So I'll go ahead and click on that. You can change the name if you'd like, but I'm just going to click OK. And again, it opened up a brand new tab. And now you can see we have a few more options and we can edit this piece. So really easy to edit these as well. We're basically just going to click around on here and change out the different items. So I'll start by changing this headshot. If I right click on the photo, I can go down to replace image. And I have the option to upload an image from my computer, search the web. If you have photos in your Google Drive, you can upload that way as well. And these different options, I'm going to choose upload from computer, and I'll go ahead and add in my headshot. There we go, very easy to switch that out. And of course, if I wanted to, I could move things around. I can change the size. I'm going to change out this text. I'm just clicking in that box and hitting delete on my keyboard. This is a little big, so I'll go ahead and select all and just make this a little smaller. If I wanted to, again, I could change the font. Make that a little smaller. Change out this information. So you can see it's very simple to change out these items. Whoa. Take off the caps lock. Make that a little smaller. I know I'm going pretty quick, but it's basically the same process. I'm just clicking in here and changing things around. If I wanted to add in a logo to this signature, I would go up here to the top, File. Nope, I wouldn't. Yes, I would go Insert, Insert, and then Image. And I can upload from computer. I should have some logos saved in here somewhere. There we go. I added in my logo very easily. I can resize this, make it a bit smaller, and move it around. And then those grid lines pop up in here as well, and it kind of snaps into place, really just making it easy to make sure that my items are centered. I'm going to move this text box. Looks like all of this text is in just one big box, so I can very easily move that up. If I click on this, I can also just hit the arrow buttons on my keyboard to just nudge it a little bit. I'm going to do that down here as well, just kind of nudge this into place. So really easy, totally customizable. You can take out these items if you don't like them. You can change the color of these items on the background. If I wanted to fill this with like a funky pink, I can do that. There we go. So you can see very quickly and very easily I was able to make changes to this. So this looks good to go for me. So this is where we add in an extra step. So now we need to save this so we can attach it to our email. I'm going to go up to File and then Download. And you can see we have a few options here. So normally what you would do is you would download this as a JPEG. For your email signatures, you do have to upload an image file like a JPEG or a PNG, but we have noticed when you download a JPEG directly from Google Slides, the quality is reduced, so it can be a little pixelated. So we just add in the extra step and we download this as a PDF. So you cannot import a PDF into your email signature, So it does have to be converted, but I'll show you guys how to do that. So I'm going to go download, and then I'll choose PDF. And I'm saving this PDF to my computer. So again, I have this file, but you can't put a PDF in your email signature section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the website pdf2jpg.net, and I'll put this in the chat for you. .net. And this is a free website where you can basically import your PDF, and it'll very quickly and for free convert it to a JPEG file. So I'm scrolling down on this website, and I will click this blue button here for choose a PDF file. And that will allow me to choose that PDF that I just saved to my computer. You can see that here. Under JPEG quality, we do want to make sure that this is switched to excellent. So it gives us a nice high-res image. And then I'll click Convert PDF to JPG. And very quickly, you can see it converted that, and I can either view or download. I'll just go ahead and download this file and pop that open so you can see it. So now we have a JPEG version of our signature, and you can see it does still look a little pixelated, but your signature is probably going to be something like this size, probably even smaller than that, but you can see that looks good. So now you can take this JPEG file and go into your email settings and add it in as a signature. So I know I went through this process pretty quickly of creating these email signatures. So if you guys have any trouble when you're working on any of these templates, feel free to reach out to us. If you have the template ready to go and you're having trouble attaching it to your email, shoot us an email and we'd be happy to assist. I also, again, recommend checking out this video at the top because it'll walk you through this whole process and then actually attaching it to a Gmail at the end. And for any of these templates, it's basically that same process of editing in Google Slides. So that is it for today. I know we went over quite a bit. I am recording this class, so it will be on our YouTube page later today. If you have further questions or need further assistance with anything, if we didn't get to answer all of your questions today, I'm so sorry, but please feel free to reach out to us. Here is our phone number and our email displayed here. If not, thank you guys again, and I hope you all have a great weekend.